Welcome back, 2018 NXL Las Vegas Open. I'm Matty Marshall here with Todd Martinez and Rich Telford. This match is brought to you by Planet Eclipse here on GoSports.com. We are in the quarterfinals. Edmonton Impact, the #1 ranked team in the world for the past 2 years, is going to be taking on the young and hungry AC Dallas crew, as well as Houston Heat and San Antonio X Factor, the two Texas teams. So, boys, talk to me real quick. Rich, Impact, AC Dallas, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
My thoughts on this next matchup is basically this is finals, right? These are the top 4 final teams probably, so we're going to get to see a great preliminary match. One of the really, really good teams is going to have to go in at home early, and we're going to watch the other team go through and smash everybody.
Looking at the fan predictions, looking like, hey, AC's got some fans out there. Impact only a slight favorite in that match. In the FanWagon predictions, go to FanWagon and make your picks. Huge prizes in both first place and in the VIP section. And it looks like San Antonio X Factor is a favorite. They're a bigger favorite over Houston Heat for you guys' predictions, and Impact is over AC, so that's pretty interesting. Now, San Antonio X Factor is definitely a favorite in every single event that they play, but Houston Heat look better than X Factor in the prelims. Houston Heat was dominating teams. X Factor was winning scrappy victories. Now, as we always talk about, sometimes it works out in your favor, even though it's kind of tough and humbling when it's going down, because it's so hard to have to scrap through the prelims. But if you can make it and scrap through, and you had to go through all, you're in a better position to win potentially. So Houston Heat had a lot more things go their way in the prelims. So like Rich, you were saying yesterday afternoon, you know, you're not on your 17th iteration of your game plan. You're only on maybe the 2nd or 3rd.
And it's so hard for guys when something's working, it's so hard to get them to change it because it's working, right? But you're like, it's working, but we need it to be better. And when you get pushed, you got to make it better. And like you said, when you're in your 17th iteration of the game plan, it's really, really good.
Yeah. Todd, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that Houston Heat looked good, but you never know. It all comes down to who's going to do what today. So it looks like Moorhead getting shot on the break, but Archie getting shot as well. Billy getting pulled out of the snake side, and the referee's going to run and pull a penalty on Billy.
Yeah. So X Factor's down to only 2 bodies left alive.
Yeah, this is not the break that X Factor wanted to have here. Houston Heat immediately with an advantage, and Ryan Brand, the quickest coach in the business, on the horn, not going to let Colt play any more paintball over there with Grayson, as the rest of the team had got shot. Grayson stayed alive, Colt stayed alive. Now we're in the pits right now with Heat.
And the big difference in that point is X Factor shot 1 Heat player, Heat shot 2 X Factor players, but one of the X Factor players didn't leave, so they lost a bonus body, and 4-on-2 is tough.
Now going to jump into a point with Impact and AC Dallas. Impact, again, just looked almost unbeatable in the prelims. In their last game against Revo, both those teams were undefeated when they fought in that match, and I thought that, you know, we saw Revo win their match against Damage, but Edmonton Impact completely destroyed Baltimore Revo and didn't even let them put a point on the board. So Impact really hasn't had any hurdles at all getting into this quarterfinals.
I think the one thing we know is this is going to be a really, really high-scoring game because both of these teams like to bring it.
Well, it looks like only 1 body dropping early as Ryan Hall gets shot for AC Dallas, but Impact losing 3 bodies. A disastrous break for Edmonton Impact, and the 2 bodies left alive are on your screen with Justin Rabakoff and Zach Yakimek.
Yeah, and they didn't go with a really aggressive game plan. They lost guys going to the bunkers that usually everybody makes, so AC's really on point with their laning.
Well, Rainey got kind of a bad start, got out there late. I think he had a gun issue, and then when he hit the box, looked like he kind of threw Dalton off as they both came walking off, scratching their heads, looking at each other like, man.
What's going on, man?
We just messed that up. First point here.
Well, AC Dallas has got a 4-on-2 situation here, but they don't have that really fast kind of pace game. They're really slow and methodical, so they're just going to use their numbers. They're just going to put 4 guns on one guy or 3 guns on one guy on the other, and just eventually hope to dink somebody out. Is that Justin there on the drill side for Impact?
Yeah, so Justin at the stand-up tower towards the D side, former MVP, the best guy in the entire league as far as kills to points played ratio last year with 1.24 kills per points played. Nobody did it better than Justin Rabakoff. Zach Yakimek, a former MVP award winner out here for Edmonton Impact, and those are the 2 bodies left alive. AC Dallas is going to have to go into those guns, and there's their lineup on your screen. You see not much penetration on the field on the D side or on the snake side, but they do have John Jackson up at that wedge in the center. D1 is hot with Danner. Matt Jackson, stand-up tower. Those are the 4 players for AC Dallas left on the field.
I feel like what we're watching right now kind of anticipates what paintball is today. When you know, like in the old days when you had a 4-on-2 situation, One dude was definitely flying down the field looking for some glory. Someone was following that guy up, and it was you were dropping the hammer.
The big difference is there's just less points played now in the current incarnation and format. There's only 15 minutes, down from 16 from last year, and you know, they're not playing full X-Ball matches like when X-Ball first got rolled out all those years ago. Now each point, so that's why things slow down, particularly on Sunday. When you're playing less points, every point is more important. That means every gunfight is more important, which means the teams are going to play slightly more conservatively than they did not only in the past, but through Friday and Saturday's prelim competition.
So do you think that makes for more exciting or less exciting webcasts?
Well, it definitely makes for more tense moments because each point is more potent. Each point has that importance to it. You can see, and also it's just the teams too. I mean, AC Dallas, I hate when I say it, but they are more of a conservative team. Impact can play both ways. AC Dallas, I feel, can play both ways too, dependent. But you're looking at AC Dallas is just lulling. They're just gonna try to outweigh them. Say, okay, look.
Yeah, I just think it's boring paintball, man. And I get it, man. Like nobody wants to make a mistake, but it's like they go out, they try not to make any mistakes, and they're just trying to get the other guys to concede the buzzer instead of going down and smashing them. And obviously it's working. They're successful. It's just boring to watch.
Rich, with 20 teams, it's not like we can go back to 25-minute full X-Ball matches.
Oh, and I'm not looking for that. Yeah, I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking for when you get in a 4-on-2 situation and no one's shooting at you,
make a move.
Go play paintball, man.
Yeah, but again, that's that's your style, and that's your style of coaching of when you try to bring players up. You know, guys like Greg Sewers. Look how Greg Sewers plays the game. You know, you worked with Greg when he was younger. Todd, you're currently working with Greg. He doesn't play like that. You know, he doesn't necessarily play that style of paintball, and neither does X Factor for that matter.
Well,
we're watching X Factor right now. Neither does Heat. Heat also doesn't play like that.
And
Heat and X Factor will play a faster game. So if it's 4-on-2, they're not going to be doing that.
And I don't expect 5 dudes to fly down the field like idiots.
Well, go talk to Paulie.
I expect somebody to.
Why don't you go talk to Paulie?
All I need is one idiot to fly down the field and drop some hammers.
That's right.
Do we have any hammers down there? Because I need some hammers dropped.
Watching these games, I see a lot of nails.
So it looks like Sergey going to come off early here for Houston Heat. Advantage goes to X Factor. They are down by 1. Still some time, obviously, with that really quick point. I mean, Houston Heat blew X Factor out of the water in that first point real fast. So, and then you see Houston Heat here, the 4 players remaining after Sergey walked off.
Yeah, good breaks for both teams. Everybody's in a good positions to move down the field. Looks like the Drew side of the field is going to get them. Oh, there goes another Russian walking off.
Yeah, it's Mishka. So Fedorov, and you can look in the. Here comes the attack on the D side right now for San Antonio X Factors. They have a 2-body advantage. And here comes the move out wide. And going to get right into the snake with Michael Carwell. Looks like he was going to go to the snake.
Yeah.
So Kovar over here with Archie Montemayor, John Woodley as well. Still 5 players left alive. And here's that aggression you were looking for, Todd. Archie Montemayor, who had been playing. Actually, I think that's Jesse Stevens. So Jesse Stevens over on the D side now. Jesse Stevens is confusing me because he's put the same exact stickers on his goggles as Archie did. Colt's behind him.
No, they did. Yeah, they did move Archie over there.
Did he? Okay, so it's Jesse Stevens, the back corner bunker then here on the snake side, which had Archie been playing that spot. Archie moved back to the D side, moving up, and he is now at D4.
And Chad Boucher going to get picked off out of that snake corner.
Yeah, he was in a tough spot because obviously they were wide on him on both sides, and he was trying to gunfight both ways, leaving just the 2 Russian players left in the Dorito corner over there. X Factor applying more pressure now as they move forward down the field.
Archie now past the 50-yard line, and Rich, you asked for aggression. You got it. Michael Kovar on the 50 on the snake side. Archie past the 50 on the D side, trying to put the pressure on the remaining players from Houston Heat. You can see the eye in the sky. There goes 1 just out of the 2. So just 1 player left alive. Archie tries to drop the hammer. And it looks like Houston Heat going to be forced to concede. So San Antonio X Factor puts their first point on the board. We have ourselves a tie game. Was that a little more entertaining, Rich?
It was, and again, like those guys weren't flying down the field, but when no one was shooting at them and the opportunity was given, they took a small bump to the next bunker. I mean, I'm not looking for people to be rocket science out here or just, you know.
Styles make fights, right? And the X Factor and Heat game, both those teams run much more aggressively than Impact and AC Dallas.
Yeah, I feel like there's a vacuum out in the field right now.
So let's go down to Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, AC Dallas knows that Impact does an excellent job at finding and utilizing bounce shots on the field layout. So after that first point that they won, they spent a lot of time talking about the bounce shots Impact was trying to take in order to avoid running into them. Back to you.
Impact trying to get this one back. AC Dallas with a slight lead on the break. Looks like both teams 5 strong, but Impact able to spread out wide. TJ Danner is going to be the first player to come off for AC Dallas.
Got shot out of that tower too. We don't see many people dying out of that early, so there must have been like Lauren was talking about possibly a bounce shot. Is that
Ryan
Brad
Hall.
McCurley?
Ryan Hall comes running off as well out of that snake side tower. He's been going up there getting work done. So 2 bodies down for AC Dallas. They got Matt Jackson over here in the snake side temple, and Brad McCurley and John Jackson in the back center. Nick Laval now in the snake tower with Keith Brown behind him for impact. Right there on your screen, you can see Justin Rabikoff in the top corner. I'm sorry, Brandon Cornell in the top corner in that Dorito corner with Justin Cornell in front of him.
Justin Cornell makes his move into D3. So the first to attack over there on that D side is Impact, as they have now a 2-body advantage. Trying to make the most of it here, trying to get in the snake. The ref's going to check him out. Brandon Cornell moves up to back up Justin. Also, Zach Yakimek making the move to the wedge. Here comes the ball, crawling through the snake. There's the lineup on your screen on the D side for Edmonton Impact, trying to use this 2-body advantage they have, and Laval has made his way into snake 3.
Yeah, he's in a good spot. They've got 3 players almost on the 40-yard/50-yard line for Impact. So those guys are going to look to go from that 40 across into the next 40. And that's when it's going to start getting tough for AC Dallas. Bunkers are going to start to get smaller. The angles are going to get bigger.
The ball.
AC Dallas is where they want to be to cross it up. I just don't think they're going to be a whole lot of 5 Impact players.
We have seen some low body magic out here.
Oh,
now
wait,
we're going to be a minor penalty on Nick Laval, which is going to pull out
the game
Keith
away.
Brown. So it is now a 3-on-3 situation.
Right, but Impact loses its whole snake side of the field, so AC Dallas might be able to make something out of that by wrapping on the snake side here.
Well, we'll see if they can take advantage of it, as it is now even on the body count. But actually, Justin Cornell gets shot. So it is now what was a 5-on-3 situation is now a 2-on-3 in favor of AC Dallas.
Like I was saying earlier, you can't go too aggressively. You've got to play smart out here. You got to sit back and zone up these fields. Otherwise, you're going to lose points.
Yeah, well, and that is exactly if AC Dallas was hoping for a break, they got one.
That's a great point by them.
Yeah,
lost too early and battled back.
So they just dug in.
That's going to give some confidence.
Played tight. Laval got shot. Ref found a hit on him, and that pulled out Keith Brown.
And I think that was when he filled the snake. He asked for a check earlier, and I just don't think they picked up on it until he got to that 50, and they looked at him a little bit better.
Well, honestly, they didn't check it until Paulie asked for it. Paulie is down on the sideline.
Excuse me, can you
tell
check
the ref,
that?
like, hey, man, like, you got to check that guy. And then they went and found the hit, pulled him out, and then assessed the penalty.
So Impact digging themselves a hole
Yeah,
here early.
that would be a huge upset for Impact to go home early. I just saw the betting pool, and everyone's name said, I was going to bet, but everyone wrote Impact or the Russians. I was like, so basically if I get my money and I can't win my money back, I'm out.
So tied up in this game, though, as Houston Heat and X Factor, 2 aggressive teams playing each other. It looks like Archie's going to be taking the walk. Archie coming back to the D side of the snake side of the field here. So 1 body has dropped for X Factor. A good break for Heat.
I love that they do that too. You know, play Dorito side, come back, play a point on the snake side. It's so hard to predict what those guys are going to do because they can literally go everywhere.
Billy Bernaccia into the snake for X Factor. No one in the snake right now for Houston Heat. But Houston Heat with Ryan Moorhead making a big fill from the center to get to the mini wall. Looks like they do lose a body with
Nico Hyde.
So Nico Hyde coming off. That's going to even up the body count. It's 4-on-4. Bernaccia on your screen for San Antonio X Factor. He wants to make a move up to that 50 brick. There's no one on this snake side, and that's going to allow him to wrap around and get shots inside. Here comes Moorhead. Moorhead comes off. Chad George gets absolutely destroyed by Bernaccia, trying to fill out here to the back bunker on the snake side. Bernaccia
feasting.
Yeah,
Billy is feasting.
Yeah, having a point. One of the best snake players in the business. Always been so consistent.
And amazing hair. Like, his hair always looks good.
Yeah, he does have. I'm pretty jealous. He does have some pretty nice hair. And then here comes Billy Bernaccia, still just wrapping around.
Only 2 players left for Heat, and they're both shooting at Billy, which should take some pressure off the other X Factor players that are back there watching Billy play paintball.
Well, Billy doing a good job of maintaining this outside dominance.
Yeah,
and just pounding the paint over there to force the Dorito side tower to have to stay heads up to try and protect his Dorito 1 guy. But Woodley in the middle probably has the best opportunity to make a move.
He's got the ball. He just needs to pick it up and run with it, because the Dorito for Heat is on Billy. The tower is on the outside player for X Factor, and no one's on Woodley.
Yeah, so looks like it's Dizon in the Dorito 1.
Well, there's only 3 players left alive right now for X Factor. D1, the wall over here, and Bernaccia, who's still alive. Houston Heat has pulled off a 2-on-4 already at this event. but I don't know if they're going to be able to do it here. Bernaccia might have just got caught, but it's a 2-on-1 now, so Woodley's going to have to step up here as Billy's already done his damage. At least 2 confirmed kills for Billy Bernaccia.
Sam Monville wheeling and dealing out of that tower.
And he was one of the 2 that pulled off the 2-on-4. Dizon was the other guy, and it was Dizon and Monville again.
They got him. X Factor with a big point. Come back 2-1 with 10 minutes left. He played a little aggressively earlier, got into some of those earlier positions in the middle and lost those bodies, and then Billy just came up and destroyed everybody.
So let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, AC Dallas is feeling pumped in the pits, as you would imagine, with this 2-point lead, but they know the game isn't theirs yet. They said they're going to continue to play slow and controlled. They're not going to force any moves or any kills that they don't readily have. They're going to let the game unfold in front of them and take opportunities as they present themselves. Back to you.
Well, we will see if that's the way that it shakes out here. This game brought to you by Planet Eclipse, makers of some of the best paintball guns on planet Earth and a big sponsor for Edmonton Impact.
I will say the advantage to AC Dallas' style of play is if they survive these breakouts, it's going to be really hard for Impact to come back down a couple points.
Well, Impact having another disastrous break here. 2 bodies walking off for them. AC Dallas also loses a body off that D side of the field with McCurley, but 4 bodies on 3.
Impact's pushing up that drill side hard. They're already in drill 3 over there, even though they're down on bodies.
Well, this is going to get interesting if AC Dallas and they find a way to shoot another body. Dalton getting shot trying to push up on that D side, so Dalton Vanderbilt walks off. Just a few bodies left alive for Impact. If AC Dallas can put up 3 and Impact digs themselves that huge hole, we haven't seen Impact face this adversity yet.
Yeah, that'd be good for them.
Yeah, Impact pretty much ran through their bracket, just abusing the teams that they had played, and now kind of getting punched in the mouth right here early.
Well, and if AC Dallas,
but they kind of also hurt themselves that first point. Well, actually, both. Well, the first point they got a bad start. The second point they got a penalty. So,
yeah,
kind of self-inflicted wounds right now for Impact.
That's what I'm saying. Dug themselves a little hole. It's now 2-on-4.
Yeah, there's only 9 minutes left. If AC Dallas is smart, and we know they are, they can probably grind 2 or 3 minutes off of there before Dave's like, okay, I got to ring this bell.
Well, I know, Rich, that you're not necessarily a fan of the conservativeness of AC Dallas, but it gets real effective
when you're up on points. Yeah. I'm a super big fan of being conservative. Okay. Don't get me wrong, man. When there's a time and place for it, right?
Yeah.
When it's 4-on-2, go forward and kill people. When you're up by a couple points, sit back and zone up.
Yeah.
Right.
And AC Dallas is one of the best in professional paintball doing that. And now Impact is faced with a situation where they're going to have to play one of the best teams in the world at holding on to a lead, and that's down by 3 now.
And that's when it's really important to have that second gear, right? Be like, hey, we can't sit down. We're down by 3 points. We've got to play offensive. We've got 9 minutes, so we need at least 1 point every 2.5 minutes to tie it, and then 1 more point. You got to go.
So another Planet Eclipse team here, X Factor, with 10 minutes left, up by 1 on Houston Heat. And Houston Heat on your left, X Factor on your right. On the breakout, Chad George with a big bite to snake 1 off the break. He's going to get checked out by the ref there, left-hand side of your screen.
Yeah,
he's getting pulled out. X Factor losing Colt Roberts, though, from the D side. Looks like they do get Archie Montemayor, though.
Watch out.
Who's the confirmed kill count leader here in this match, and he is now doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Wraps around, gets a kill on Sergey. He's at the 50-yard line, brick here, snake side. Sorry, that's Jesse Stevens. Oh, man,
but we're going to give the kills to Archie anyway.
Jesse Stevens biting Archie's style with the lens. First of all, they're about the same size.
Everyone's doing it now because Archie was getting so many kills that they're like, listen, if we all make ourselves look like Archie,
I don't know
kills.
If Jesse went into Archie's bag and grabbed his extra set of goggles, but he literally has the same sticker set on his goggles. So it is Archie and Jesse Stevens, though, here, both on the snake side of the field, but it's Stevens at this 50 brick who's chalking up kills in there right now. He started his pro career on X Factor. It was really hit or miss, real inconsistent, just a young guy, kind of needed to figure some things out. Went to AC Dallas and played a couple seasons with them, and now he's back with the crew on X Factor, but dropping the ball here, so he was playing really well, but kind of, dying sloppy in there.
Well, and he was probing, he was trying to find that kill, but he could have found that kill by going forward, I think.
Well, another body walking off as Nico Hyde gets shot for Houston Heat.
Just 2 left for Houston Heat now against 3 X Factor players, but X Factor definitely has the advantage in position. Oh, there goes another G out of the Dorito for the Russians. Only 1 player left for the Russians now.
Well, Todd, another point here for X Factor.
Archie's
feeling good.
A triple chest pound and a double twerk right there after that point. I think the limit is 2 twerks. I don't think did you go? He might have gone triple twerk.
Well, the thing with Archie's chest pound is it depends, like how many chest pounds that he gives himself. It really depends on how many points are up, you know? I mean,
yeah.
And how close they are to winning.
Well, I think he went double chest pound to double twerk or double pelvic thrust. But we'll have to check that one again. Maybe we can get it on the replay.
So here's Jesse Stevens as he comes around, gets that first kill. He ends up getting shot, though. But that really was the move that started to break things open because there were 4 players left alive. So here's Archie Mountamore cleaning things up for Jesse after he dies. He's going to come through. The point gets conceded, and there is the
1-2.
And then a little twerk hip thrust.
3 times,
Archie's
baby.
feeling it.
Drop it 3 times,
a
Archie.
couple minutes.
Well, it's one hip thrust. It's 1 hip thrust per point that they have on the board. So he did a triple chest bump right here, and then 3 pelvic thrusts.
2, 3,
because they're up by or they have 3 points on the board.
So you're saying it's the system. What do you think Impact is talking about right now during that timeout?
What's up, Rich?
So what do you think Impact's talking about during their impact?
I mean, we're in Vegas right now. I'm feeling a little weird right now because Todd's rubbing on my leg, and you know how it goes.
Yeah. Go Todd! It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Go Todd!
Archie, that's his Sig Celly. We were talking about that. You know what I mean? You got to drop the signature celebration every now and then. Archie hit him with the chest bump, and then he just remixed it for 2018 with the oof.
Well, I didn't know if he was going to throw the twerk in, but he, because he did the squat, but then the thrust came out. So regardless, Archie and the rest of the boys from X Factor looking pretty good with a 2-point lead on one of the teams that looked the best in the prelims. Houston Heat now Impact 0 points scored for Edmonton Impact,
and they dropped another body on the break.
Having a really rough.
AC Dallas is winning these breakouts.
Yeah, they're having a rough go of it here in this match. Period. Nothing is working for Edmonton Impact, and that's why you only see. I mean, heading through the prelims, almost all of the top 5 killers on Impact had at least one kill per point, but they're just struggling.
Impact drops another player trying to fill that snake side.
Just 3 players left alive, looking at 5 AC Dallas.
And they got to go
3.
forward.
So AC Dallas is going to try to slow this point down as much as they can and try to take as much of the time off the clock as possible. Most likely, they're going to be getting this point as well, so they'll probably go up 4-0. I mean, there still are 3 Impact players left alive, so maybe they could get a shot real quick, try to even this up. But most importantly, AC Dallas wants to take as much time off the clock as possible.
Yeah, no penalties and burn as much time as they can to either win this point or stale this point.
Ryan Hall had to reposition to try to get a better angle to attack the center, but he gets up to that center 50 brick nicely, and he's going to try to shut down that D side. But look for AC Dallas to dig some trenches right now and just chill in their spots and roll those guns.
Yeah, it looks like the spot right now, if Keith Brown can get up the snake side of the field, there's no one for AC Dallas on the snake side of the field looking this way. So it's really possible that he could power himself up to that brick with his speed and maybe get a couple of G's and get this game going again for Impact. But he's not going to do anything in that snake corner looking inside.
Keith Brown on your screen trying to somehow find a way to produce a kill to even things up here, and it looks like they do. So Ryan Hall, that's a really bad death for Ryan Hall. There's no excuse for you to die in that spot. You don't need to make moves. Impact is forced to come to you, and there's another bad death.
That was Keith Brown, just shot him out from that corner.
So all of a sudden we have even up body count here. 2 horrible deaths for AC Dallas. Ryan Hall to the center, and I think that is Matt Jackson as well.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic.
They do have good field position. They're in D4. Justin Cornell for Edmonton Impact is also in D4, but Keith Brown is by himself on this snake side. And with the way he plays the game, look for him to make moves forward, and there he goes. He's definitely one of those guys on that team that if you give him some, he's definitely going to take it. And here comes Justin Cornell. He's going to try to run down, beg for a penalty on Bragg McCurley. They trade out. Keith Brown able to get in to the 50 brick here, snake side, and he gets a shot on John Jackson.
Keith Brown having a game. Looks like he's about to get his 3rd piece right here.
You know, going back to those deaths of Hall and Matt Jackson, if Impact finds a way to get back in this match and somehow can tie it up later on here, I mean, it could come down to those specific kills.
Yeah, for sure.
Cannot lose
this point in those kills.
When you're up 3-0 on Impact
with 5-on-3.
With 5-on-3. Just hide, man. Hide. Yeah. Literally have them come and run you down.
And in that situation, I'm not looking for AC Dallas to play aggressively.
Yeah.
I'm not going to criticize them at all for sitting back and zoning. I'll criticize them for just standing there and getting shot in the face, not doing anything.
I think it's your fault, Rich, because they probably heard you and they're like, well, we don't want Rich, to be criticizing us like that. So, we need to play more aggressive. So that's, just
I accept full responsibility.
Just a rough go there. 5-on-3, but a beautiful job by Keith Brown. Look at this nice move here. Justin Cornell comes through, gets the drop on Brad McCurley.
Trades
They
out.
do trade out, but it was really Keith Brown here who stayed alive on this side. And I'm not sure, Todd, did you see who got those kills?
Keith shot the tower out,
Okay.
And then Keith shot both the snake guy and then the
So
corner.
Keith Brown saving that point for Edmonton Impact. Instead of a 4-point lead, it's now a 2-point game. Totally different story there.
Houston Heat's going to have to look to do something a little bit more offensive here out of the break. They lose 1 player, but they're down by 2 points with only 8 minutes left, so they've got to do something to turn this game around. Otherwise, X Factor's just going to cruise on in.
Lots of time to go here. Houston Heat losing Ronnie Dizon off that Dorito side. Woodley making his move up the middle into that center 50 brick.
Just locking that Dorito side of the field down.
It's going to be Fedorov and Moorhead over there now.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to get through that gap, though.
Chad George over here on the snake side.
Ryan's going to go get him. Oh. Ryan. Oh, he got a shot going in.
And Woodley capitalizes by going to get Chad George out of that
he's got a
snake
neighbor,
side tower.
so he goes to get him and ends up making it. 2 X Factor players die out of the back, though, on the Dorito side. And there goes Woodley.
Fedorov on the run.
Yeah, Fedorov's now in X Factor's Dorito with only 2 players left for X Factor. The Heat's got the advantage in this game right now.
I believe this is Monville over here in the snake corner.
Yeah, 2-on-2 situation.
Fedorov trying to put paint on Kovar, sitting in snake 2 with no bodies in front of him.
Yeah, the field's turned. Houston Heat's pushing down the Dorito side of the field. X Factor's only got players left to allow on the snake side of the field. But every second goes by is an advantage for the Houston Heat players. I mean, sorry, X Factor players.
I'm not sure if Kovar knows exactly where Fedorov is, because he's shooting deep on the Dorito side.
Yeah, I don't know what he's shooting at either, unless Heat's got another player over there we don't know about.
Billy and Kovar, I don't think are talking to each other.
No. Kovar just found out where he was finally in that little Dorito. Fedorov's screaming to get some support from his player.
So Kovar is going to come up and get shot cross field, and Houston Heat is going to pull within 1 to make this game interesting.
Yeah, I'm not
6
sure
minutes, 35 seconds to go.
I'm not sure if Houston Heat just played really good there, or if X Factor just blew it there.
Well, Fedorov,
he made a big move, obviously.
Yeah, he did, and then he's asking for a check, so he called Sam Monville to run over and say, hey, I think can you just look at me over real quick before I hit this? We really need this point, so I'm not trying to hit this buzzer with a hit on me.
Well,
People
Monville
definitely were shooting at me.
Bad guys, lots of them, everywhere.
So as we're looking at the Houston Heat boys here, now down by 1 is still a game. Let's check in with Lauren.
Put Fedorov in the 1 now.
Hey guys, Impact coach Jason Trozen said that's the point they needed to get back in this game. He said if they just play Impact Paintball moving forward, don't give away any stupid bodies, they're going to be fine and they're going to prevail and take this win. Back to you.
Well, off of the heroics of Keith Brown and Justin Cornell, Impact's still in this match. But other than that, they've been playing pretty bad here in this for the first time.
I don't know if it's that they're playing bad, but they're losing the breakout. So every single game they're playing down bodies,
I don't know if they've lost guys out of their bunkers.
Yeah,
They've gotten
true.
penalties.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing everything that was going right yesterday.
It's not going right
The only
today.
reason they even have a point on the board is because Keith Brown shot some guys.
And we lost.
And AC Dallas made some big mistakes. Now they lose Keith Brown off the break, and AC Dallas is able to keep 5 alive. This is the point right here. Impact needs to win this point to stay in this match.
Yeah.
Ryan Hall getting shot out of that center wedge. Came up shooting snake side as soon as he switched to look Dorito side. Got picked off from the Dorito 3 as Impact made a quick move and got in there right away. Rainey Stanzak protected him from the snake side tower. Trying to let Zach Yakimek play heads up over here with Justin Rabikoff.
You see the 4 players left alive for AC Dallas. It is a 4-on-4 game and playing in those back spots, but rolling their guns. Lots of pressure. AC Dallas putting on Impact. Impact looking for moves. They need 2 points just to tie. There goes a move getting out of that treacherous stand-up cannon into the insert tower.
Yeah, that tower's much easier to play. Impact needs to work their way towards the snake side of the field. Try to get up to that 50 brick again.
Well, TJ Danner also made a good fill out wide on the D side.
Yeah.
So it's a couple good little fills here for AC Dallas to spread out.
5 minutes left, Matt.
Yeah, but I like those little moves. Better defensive front for them. Justin Cornell extends and is able to make it in clean to D4. It's a real good spot.
Real good spot.
You need to worry about him. No one in the snake. Yakimek over here. Zach wants to make a move, but they lose Rainey Stanzik. So
that's gonna hurt.
now a one-body advantage with the Stanzik death for Impact. Impact again, down bodies, guys.
Impact makes the snake, though. I'm not sure if AC knows he's there. Oh, they do. They're calling it. But AC loses their back center player from that snake player. So we're right back into a 3-on-3.
Brad, TJ, and Matt Jackson still alive here.
Yeah, Justin Cornell, Justin Rabikoff.
Zach Yakimek and the snake.
Yeah, so that's the lineup for the two teams. You can see there, Matt Jackson down low in Snake 1. AC Dallas just needs to live as long as possible, even if you give the point up.
If they can grind 2 minutes off of this clock, they got a real good chance.
It's just tough because anytime it looks like AC Dallas in this past couple points has the numerical superiority, somebody loses a gunfight.
Well, and Impact's got such a deep roster. Any one of the Impact players could pull off a big game and get you right back in there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, we're talking about the best team in the world, superstar lineup, and just faltering a little bit here this morning against an incredibly tough AC Dallas squad that's really hungry to win a tournament. Zach Yakimek, former MVP award winner.
Oh, Zach just shoots the Dorito corner. He was sitting back deep off of that bunker and got shot.
TJ Danner dropping the ball for AC Dallas, getting taken out. It's now just 2 players left alive with Brad McCurley and Matt Jackson.
Yeah, this is where I feel like playing super defensive might put you in a tough situation. They need to grind at least another minute off this clock.
And here comes Zach. He's going to come out wide, trying to get that drop on Matt Jackson, and then smartly realizes, okay, wasn't able to get that shot, so comes back into his spot.
Probing for the kill. Figuring out what do I have to do to kill this guy, because if I kill this guy, we're going to win this match.
Brad runs to his death. Why did Brad do that? That was not a good decision. I have no idea why Brad decided, and then now a minor penalty. And is that going to be on Impact, or is it going to be on AC Dallas?
AC Dallas.
If it's on AC Dallas, I mean, AC Dallas put themselves in the perfect situation to beat the best team in the world, and they keep making real small mistakes that is costing them.
And that's maybe because they're a young team that's, kind of getting up here for the first time and kind of figuring it out.
But they're not that young, and this is not their first time here.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm trying to be positive for them, Matt.
I'm just...
Okay, AC Dallas sucks. Let's move on.
No, they don't though. That's what is, you.
Yeah, I don't think that that Impact's playing bad. I think AC Dallas has just been playing really well, except for now that they're sitting on that lead, they're not playing well. To get to 3-0 against Impact, you got to play pretty good.
Again, they're going to go back and watch this game and look at these mistakes and be like, there's still some game left to play, so they still could win. But if they lose this game, this is going to be one that they go back and watch over and over again. My God, we were so close to taking Impact out in the quarterfinals, and we completely blew it. Because the way that AC Dallas had played this game up to that 3-0 point, it was their game to win. Everything was going in their favor. They keep squandering high body situations now, getting, I don't know what Brad was thinking. You don't have that much time left on the clock. I mean, he must have saw a window.
Make him come get you.
Yes, but Brad's a great player. He must have saw a window, and he barely made it out of his bunker before he got torched.
I think he knew that he put the juke on Justin Cornell on the inside, and he thought Justin Rabikoff was also on the inside. But I think from where Justin had the angle, Justin was on the inside but looking down the wire for that move. And I think it was Justin Rabikoff that ended up picking up Brad when Brad tried to cross, I think, 2 or 3 Doritos to go get Justin Cornell. But I'm not even sure who that penalty was on over there. It looked like they went and pulled an Impact guy because there were still 2 Impact guys left. But if it's on AC Dallas, then AC Dallas could be starting down 1 for the next point. But I don't know why that would have been a penalty on Impact. It didn't really look like. It looked like a clean exchange from here. But we'll see what
Heat
referees
loses their
end up
snake
saying.
corner on the break, and then their secondary out there. So Heat's down 2 bodies now against X Factor. X Factor with a 1-point advantage, 6 minutes left in the match. Heat down by 2 bodies.
Another real close game here. As you see, Archie leading the charge here in the match stats. Referees running in to check out. Player for... It looks like it's Archie. Archie's getting checked out. Looks like he's good. Billy Bernaccia, back corner bunker. Looking really good right now as Jesse Stevens is back at the 50 snake.
Yeah, I love that. I love him getting up to that 50 or that 50 brick earlier because you can go inside and shut down the Dreer side. You can wrap from the snake side, control. Lots of options from that bunker.
X Factor trying to hold on to this lead. They're in good positions. And they have a two-body advantage right now over Heat.
Too much. Jesse Stevens gunfighting a little bit too much, gets caught by one of the Russians.
Yeah, he knows he made a mistake there as he put his eyes to the sky in frustration. And that forces Billy Bernaccia to have to push forward and get into Snake 3. Nice work by Billy. And he catches Heat cross field. Did he get a shot on? I thought I saw something break. Might have come off the bunker.
He's checking 3 right now.
He needs to check his loader. Because I thought I saw something break off of him, but it might have just came off the bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but they lose Sergey out of the Snake.
Yeah, once Sergey shot, Jesse Stevens out of that brick, he should have immediately gone to that brick. Not waited.
No one looking at Billy right now. Here at the 50 on the Snake side of the field.
Last time he was here, he got snapped out, so he's going to probably be a little more cautious this time.
Archie yelling over to Colt, trying to sort it out as Billy just needs to maintain this outside presence. And looks like they're going to pick off the corner. That's Mishka walking off. Yeah. Just one body left alive. It's Fedorov.
Yeah, Fedorov on 4. And that's probably going to be the match. How much time was left in that match?
I didn't
Lots
see
of
it.
time. It's
Yeah,
like 4
I think
minutes.
there's still some time left.
Is there?
It's
Okay.
a 2-point spread, but it's 4:25 left.
So they've got time. They can come back.
They've
but they're
got
down by
definitely
2.
enough time for full long points if they need it. And let's go and check in with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks. In the AC Dallas pit, Coach Pauly was saying that these last 2 points Impact has been able to get. They've been playing, AC Dallas has been playing defensively. They need to up the aggression. The last 2 points, they were just getting to their bunkers, staying alive, and waiting for the Impact players to come to them. But in these next few points, they need to get to their bunkers and then be looking for those moves to bump up and take those wins.
Interesting.
So AC Dallas, after taking a 3-point lead here, letting Impact back in this match by making a few mistakes. There's 2 minutes and 37 seconds left to go. Impact does lose a body off the break. It's Nick Laval, but Keith Brown quickly gets into Snake 3. We'll see if AC Dallas can pick him up. AC Dallas with a clean break, 5 alive for them. And here comes an aggressive move up to that 50 mini wall bunker on the D side of the field. You can see there AC Dallas dominating here in the kill count. Brad McCurley, John Jackson, and Matt Jackson, Zach Yakimek, and Brandon Cornell representing Impact in the top 5 here in this match. So under just about 2 minutes to go, actually. Let's see if Keith Brown can, he's, to be honest, I think one of the big reasons that Impact is still in this game.
100%.
Keith Brown, a former MVP award winner himself, trying to get a crossfield shot on D3. No one over here wide on the Snake side to keep Keith Brown honest in here. Keith Brown just wrapping around as much as he wants, but smart move.
I'm kind of surprised AC hasn't filled in the Snake or the Snake corner to try to neutralize it.
I think it's Brad, but good job by, Brad McCurley to get from D3 to D4 and kind of block off that angle. Now Keith Brown doesn't have the same shot on him, and then just too big of a fill for John Jackson. Had no idea that Keith Brown and Zach Yakimek were on that angle, so John throwing his body away, and that allows Keith Brown to get to the 50-yard line here on the Snake side of the field, and he's going to get a free kill crossfield because Brad's head's hanging out.
Yeah.
So AC Dallas, again, just making these small mistakes and letting Impact back in the match.
Another AC player just dropped.
When you're playing the best team in paintball, you have to play that mistake-free game, and just not seeing that out of AC Dallas.
And you can't just concede. You can't just get to your bunker and sit there and hope they don't move forward and shoot you from better gaps.
Well, JC walks out. There's still TJ and Matt Jackson over here alive.
3 on 2.
It's under a minute. 3-on-2 situation. J-Rab over there in the Dorito 4. Zach and Keith over here. TJ and Matt Jackson trying to get as small as they can.
Oh.
Yeah, but no one's even putting paint on Keith. Matt was hiding because he had to. Nothing he could do about that. And Keith's going to get that crossfield shot. So Keith Brown steps up yet again here for Edmonton Impact.
And again, just sloppy AC play, right? Just two needless deaths that just opened up the door for Impact.
Well, I like the move that Brad made up from D3 to D4, but I do not like the fill out wide. That's a great bunker in the back bunker on the Snake side of the field, and John's been doing a great job of getting out there, but that was a very inopportune time. But that's a lack of communication, not checking off on your lanes.
Yeah, he didn't need to go. He was in the can looking across the field at the Dorito side and then just made a quick turnaround sprint to that corner. I'm not sure what information he got that made it, but he didn't really look before he went. I think somebody told him something, so he just tried to sprint to that corner. Maybe Matt was screaming for help.
Or Matt was saying, hey, you need to get in that corner eventually. And he's like, eventually is now. Let's do this. Here we go, Houston Heat, X Factor. Houston Heat's down by 2 points with 4 minutes left.
Yeah, but Houston Heat going to lose a body off the break as Dizon's going to come off early. Got shot trying to get to his bunker, and Chad George gets shot trying to fill out wide. So just 3 players left alive for Houston Heat, not able to shoot any X Factor members right now, and they are 5 strong, up by 2 with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, and you have a feeling that Jesse Stevens is going to end up in this 50 snake box here pretty quick, wrapping around and shooting people.
Yeah, he's been doing a real job of getting in there. He's got shot a couple times, getting a little too sloppy once he does get in there, but he's also had some pretty awesome points in there too. So liking what we're seeing mostly out of Jesse Stevens, he definitely could tighten up a little bit, and if X Factor moves on, that's something he's going to need to think about.
Yeah.
Archie Montemayor dominating on the kill counts per usual. And looks like the point's going to be conceded, even though 3 alive bodies out there for Houston Heat, but looking at 5 downfield with San Antonio X Factor. And Coach Ryan Smith was decided, hey, you know, all they're going to do is sit on us. We need to reset. So let's listen in real quick.
30 seconds.
And we're trying different things.
Okay. You want to take this? No, I'm just saying.
Hey, everyone believe right now. Everyone take a deep breath. Just try.
All right.
20 seconds. Time.
So a little bit of frustration here in the pits with Houston Heat, as you saw Chad starting to chirp at Coach Ryan Smith.
Great answer.
Yeah, Ryan looked at him, handed him the clipboard and said, do you want to take this? And then Chad was like, no, man, it's all good.
Oh, no,
I'm
it's
sorry.
good, bro. It's
and
good.
Then I think it might have been Nico that said, hey, let's just chill out real quick.
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath.
Just go all the way up.
What will AC Dallas do?
So now we're looking over here in the pits with San Antonio X Factor, and there's Coach Ryan Brand talking to Colt Roberts there on your left. 2nd place overall last year, the only team better on planet Earth at playing the game of paintball in 2017 was Edmonton Impact. So I mean, X Factor's always here. They haven't missed a Sunday in, I think, 2.5 years. It's been a long time since we haven't seen San Antonio X Factor playing and contending on Sunday.
Sunday paintball.
So just constantly always here.
20 seconds.
So consistent, such a, you know, across the board. And I mean, they've been able to keep pretty much the same core roster since almost their inception, picking up guys here and there and seeing if they work. They picked up Nick Sloviak this year. So now, can Edmonton Impact complete this come from behind victory? They have 41 seconds, or are we going to see an overtime point?
Keith Brown makes it alive. That's big for Impact. He's been a really big player for them the last few points.
At this point, I would not be sitting Keith Brown unless he can't go, unless he's too tired to go.
AC Dallas loses one early, loses another one now.
Brad McCurley and John Jackson both walking off. Brandon Morales made the corner.
And Impact's coming for the win.
Well,
They're not trying to tie.
that was Justin Cornell stalking down and quickly pushing on the D side, but Keith Brown gets smoked. Justin Cornell got shot. Looks like Zach Yakimak gets shot. So I thought Impact was going to be able to run with this one, but all of a sudden, AC Dallas shoots a bunch of bodies, but Justin Rabikoff is still alive over there, and he gets that last kill, and he trips and falls. That might not give him enough time. He dives in and hits the buzzer, and Edmonton Impact steals the win. 4 unanswered points from Edmonton Impact. Danner's saying he didn't get it. I'm pretty sure he definitely did.
He got it.
He almost slipped and fell completely to the ground. But the athleticism of Justin Rabikoff saving Edmonton Impact right here, and it looks like they're going to punch their ticket to the semifinals. What an amazing come from behind victory for Edmonton Impact. Keith Brown, in my opinion, definitely the MVP for Edmonton Impact in that match, and AC Dallas just falling apart after putting up 3 unanswered points and just letting Impact force their way back into this match.
They just didn't do, AC just didn't do anything. They just thought they'd already won. They got to their bunkers. I'll just stay here. Game's already over. But nobody told Impact.
Heartbreak City for AC Dallas. Let's check out this replay. Todd, talk me through this.
So here's Justin Rabikoff coming down all the way, trying to shoot out Brandon Morales. Gets him, and then on the sprint, he's going to slip on the Dorito 1, crash into the tower, and dive last second to hit that buzzer, go up over the top. And the referees are going to have to go to replay on that one. When I saw him launch from the Dorito, there was 5 seconds. It looked pretty close, and I mean, we might have another photo finish on our hands here, guys.
I think that he had about 2 seconds when he hit it. Again, you know, we're not exactly at the best angle when we were watching him dive in, so that's why we have the officials out there to figure out if that was hung in time, or the buzzer was hit in time.
Well, AC Dallas has no one to blame but themselves. Those guys have come a long way. They're a really, really good team, but they need to play offensively and defensively, and they need to stop hiding when they're up on point. I mean, obviously you play conservative, you zone it up, but you don't just stop playing paintball.
Yeah, just little mistakes out there for AC Dallas in each one of those points as Impact was making their comeback. And, you know, you could point to any one of those that could have just, hey, you know, stay alive in that bunker, not make that sloppy move out. I mean, there's a lot of them.
It's that going back to that 3-0 point when the two guys got shot out, and you're like, hey, if they lose this match, they're going to go back out, watch those two guys get shot out, and be like, what the hell?
They were squandering 5-on-3s, shot out of their bunkers for no reason, making sloppy moves. It was like a story of two different teams. AC Dallas in the first 3 point, and then AC Dallas in the next 4 points. But hats off to Impact, man. That's why they're the best team in the world.
That's right. They never, Impact never thought they were out of that game.
No, absolutely not. You don't get to be as dominant as Impact is by giving up when you go down by 3. Very highly impressive, especially with Keith Brown.
Houston Heat loses that snake corner. He had a kind of a bad start going out there. Lose their second player here on the snake side of the field. So Houston Heat down by 2 players. X-Fact with all 5 alive, shooting their guns. Heat's in a tough situation. 3 minutes left, down by 3 points. And here goes another Heat player being eliminated on the snake side of the field.
X-Factor is pumped up right now, just stacking up points. Another concession here from Heat, as they had no opportunity, or they felt they had no opportunity to win that one. So X-Factor is hyped up as well as they should be. Looking real solid here, putting up points on Houston Heat. So TJ Danner is still over here arguing with Jason.
I think what he's trying to argue is that he knocked over the bunker when he hung it, and because that, you know, like you can't alter the field by moving the bunkers, but come on, man.
Yeah,
you either win or you lose.
That's some ticky-tack stuff right there. I can't stand that. I mean, it's the way it's constructed. The buzzer is over on the top of it. What do you think, that Justin's not going to dive in with the forward momentum? So, I mean, get out of here. That to me is...
That's like when you go out and play and you lose one and you tie one. That's 2 losses. Don't come tell me you're 1-1. Tell me you're 0-2.
I think AC Dallas is saying that you can't go over the start box.
Jump over the snake all the time.
Oh,
saint it.
I know what they're saying. I just don't agree.
Oh no, I understand English.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I just don't agree with you.
Yeah, well, they're still arguing it.
Yeah, to me, like, that's one of those things that I don't argue, right? Like, if we go out and a guy cheats us, I'm going to go out and argue that. But I'm not going to argue with some guy not ringing the bell right because we suck.
We're being a little hard on AC Dallas because we expect a lot of them.
No,
you know, I love the
really
guys
like
on that
guys.
team, and I respect that they're running with 6 and what they've already accomplished. And, you know, they were that up-and-coming team that really started shocking people by making Sundays. But, you know, we expect more out of them when they put the best team in paintball on their heels and go up by 3. And they're going to need more out of themselves if they want to win tournaments. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, as of right now, AC Dallas is supposed to go on the field to play these last 2 seconds, but they're arguing with Jason Trozen, saying that in the past, players have had to have their feet on the ground when they hit the buzzer to get that point. If they jumped over the box and their feet, at least 1 foot wasn't touching the ground, the point didn't count. Jason Trozen is saying that is not a rule, and the point is good, therefore Impact would be taking that win.
I mean, they're not wrong in the argument in the sense that he definitely didn't have his feet on the ground, because he went straight horizontal in order to try to have to hit that with the time that he did. And I thought it was a beautiful move by Justin Rabikoff. Man, I got to give it to him.
Des Bryant made that catch.
What's up?
I said Des Bryant made that catch.
Yeah, so let's check out this replay here. And just look at Justin Rabikoff. I mean, definitely no feet touching the ground when he hits that buzzer.
He's still hitting it when his left foot hit the ground.
Yeah,
drag. It's a drag.
We'll drag.
You know,
yeah,
1 foot in bounds.
it's the drag.
With the drag. Oh.
So hits it and then drags the left foot right there. So technically, you're right. He did have a foot did touch the ground while he was in contact with the buzzer.
I just give him credit for not dying on that.
I would have. I'd have still been laying there. I think I broke my hip, my back, and my arm.
Yeah, can we get a medic? Rich can't get up right now.
He's so athletic.
Yeah, beautiful job by Justin Rabikoff, our kill to points played ratio leader of all of paintball last year.
Nice job, Jess.
He even maintained contact throughout the air.
He never actually fell down. He never actually fell down. He landed on his feet and just walked away.
Throughout the process of the buzzer.
Cat-like reflexes from Justin Rabikoff.
You got to
all the
maintain control.
Rabikoffs, he's definitely the most athletic.
I would absolutely agree with you, because I played with and against his father for years. And though I love Steve Rabikoff, no. Justin's definitely more athletic than Steve. So it looks like going to get another point. So I don't, so the 2, if they may come out to play the 2 seconds, that's essentially because, you know, I don't agree with those. I think you should burn it off. But
I thought
they're doing it in case there's a major penalty.
I thought anything under 12 seconds or whatever, they let it go, but they don't do that anymore.
Well, they changed it because the argument was, well,
you can get a penalty.
Yeah, that something could happen to change the impact and the effect of the game, and then.
I believe in that as much as I believe in not having both feet touching your ground when you hit the buzzer.
I'm with you on that one.
It's not the letter of the law, it's the intent of the law.
So 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go here. Houston Heat is forced to go to highly aggressive game plans. Konstantin Fedorov running and shooting into the snake. They do shoot Archie over here. No, Jesse Stevens.
Yeah. Heat loses one on the break. X Factor loses one on the break. He's got 2 guys now on the 50, though. One here on the snake side, one on the drill side of the field. Putting a lot of pressure on X players' back, guys. Oh, yeah.
Archie and Woodley going to get picked off for X Factor.
Houston is
trying to stay alive.
Well, Konstantin Fedorov is just running and gunning down the field, blasting everybody, and he's going to sprint in and hit that buzzer as quick as he possibly can in order to preserve the time. So now they're only down by 3.
And more importantly, I noticed when he rang the bell, he only had 1 foot on the ground. So I think it's going to go, but I'm not sure yet.
So referee is going to check him out, make sure he is clean.
He ran in there shooting to the snake?
Yeah, running and gunning into snake.
Because the snake guy for X Factor got shot on the run.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty impressive.
Fedorov, like he has been doing his whole career when he needs to pull this out of his bag of tricks, was running and shooting as he dove into snake 1, didn't even stop there, and just immediately crawled all the way down to snake 3, and then jumped immediately into the 50-yard line.
Yeah. Yeah, only 1 foot. That's not a good point. That's not a good point.
That was a sick barrel roll, though.
He got up a little slow, though.
Man.
You notice he got up a little slow, like he may have twisted something?
So let's check in with Lauren Kell. Looks like she has an interview for us.
Hey guys, I'm here with Justin Rabikoff. Congratulations on that pretty dramatic win. You guys were down 3 points. You had to come back with 4 consecutive points, and you personally had to dive over the box to hit that buzzer with 2 seconds left. First, talk to me a little bit about what was happening in those first 3 points where you guys were coming out a little flat.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. I mean, we came out super flat. The first point, Rainey came out super late and pushed me and Dalton off the box. I was able to touch back up. They called Dalton out on that, and Rainey was not ready. He was standing in the open, started late. He got shot on the break. So the first few points were getting chopped up early, and it didn't look good, didn't feel good, and all it took was that one. As soon as we were like, get one. As soon as we get one, then the momentum started shifting our way, and we just ran with that.
Those little mental mistakes is what costs those few first points for you, but you guys are also just excellent at waiting for the other team to make a tiny mistake.
Don't
and
be
as
a
soon
sore
as they
loser,
do,
Paulie. Come on, man. Don't be a sore loser. Come on. If he wants to talk like that, chill, dude. Why are you gonna be like that? Why can't it be a good game? Why would we want to play like that?
It's kind of a dramatic win. Back to you guys.
So it looks like Justin Rabikoff forced to walk out of the interview and immediately go and have some cross words with Greg Pauly, who was razzing him from the sidelines.
I think what Greg was saying was good game. And Justin just was saying back to him, good game, good game.
Yeah, Matt Jackson also. Hey, the Texas guys are highly excitable. So
hey, they worked really hard. They worked really hard to get here.
Of course.
And they're a great team.
That's the definition of a heartbreaking loss right there.
I've never seen anybody leave mid-interview to go pick a fight with somebody.
I loved it, though. It was great.
I had to grab Rich. He was going to go down there and punch somebody. I was like, whoa, no, you're busy, Rich here. Calm down.
You just described my paintball career for like 8 years.
Rich is like, hold on a second.
Trying to keep Rich from punching people.
Let's go.
It's way easier than paintball.
Rich, please don't punch that guy. Oh, but Maddie, I really want to punch him. Please don't do it. So right now, back into this match, we had that awesome point from Fedorov as he went down and running and gunning. Now they're trying to summon that spirit again. Houston Heat down by 3, minute and 38 seconds to go. And looks like Sergey coming through the center, getting a couple kills here on X Factor. But X Factor, it's that bend, don't break moment right now. You know Houston Heat has to push forward, and they have to push into your guns. And you know you got a huge point spread, so even if they score a couple, just keep taking that time off the clock.
I think it's down to a 2-on-1. Houston Heat with 2 players on the snake side. X Factor, 1 player left alone at home.
Yeah, Devin Stewart and Konstantin Fedorov over here, trying to pinch out last player here for San Antonio X Factor, who's in that back center, just trying to take more time off the clock, trying to maybe get a shot on Devin. Referee's going to come in and check out Devin. Might have caught one on the inside. Now they're able to get a shot in on Woodley, and then they're going to run in and hit that buzzer. So now a 2-point match.
Tough to get 2 points in under a minute.
It is, but
anybody can do
before.
it. Yeah, if anybody can do it,
happened before.
I put the Russian line in, and I'd go flying V.
This game brought to you by Planet Eclipse, big sponsor of some of the top teams in the sport, makers of some of the best guns out there. See one of their teams in San Antonio X Factor moving on, also Impact moving on as well too. So they're now in the pits with Houston Heat. Let's listen in real quick.
He's still trying to give that clipboard away, I think.
Hey, listen, we literally have 30 seconds. No, please. No, it's fine. I'm just saying, no one take more than 2 pods. I got it. 2 pods.
Well, just like Ryan said, hey, we literally have 30 seconds a point. Don't take more than 2 pods. Because if we can't get it done with 2 pods, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, it's just going to slow you down.
Stop. The 4. Hey, come here, guys.
Fedorov is going to run and shoot to the snake or run and shoot to the 50 Dorito?
Snake side, I'd say. Probably the same play they've been running. They may throw an audible here to change up the look. You don't want to run that same fast play over and over and over again.
Too predictable.
Yeah, you got to definitely try. I mean, there's a lot out here. This field is kind of tailor-made potentially.
I had some people asking me, and what I like most about this field is every breakout isn't the same. It's the first field I've seen in like 4 or 5 years where on Sunday people are going to, there's 2 or 3 bunkers everybody's going to, but then there's 4 or 5 other ones that they're just rambling every once in a while.
Yeah, so obviously there's also another really big off-the-break move you can make is that you go to the other team's wedge in that center on towards the D side. That's a big move that you can make off the break. So maybe send their first guy, that first attacker, past the 50, draw the guns, and then send a trailer behind him, but more D side, and then send the third trailer, then snake side. That might be a good option for Heat as they've been pushing heavy snake side in these 2 quick points that they've put up. So X Factor going to try to hold on here. 56 seconds to go, trying to punch their ticket and move on to the semifinals.
Looks like a lot of Russians coming this way.
So they're going to go wide, and then here comes that move I was just talking about as Dizon goes right to that center 50 wedge.
Wow,
he gets taken out.
He didn't get shot until the very last second.
X Factor does lose Michael Kovar, though, but it's just a bloodbath over here on Houston Heat side of the field. 4 bodies walking off for them. They're going to concede the point, but that should be the one that does it for San Antonio X Factor. Woodley is pumped up here in the pits. As well he should be. X Factor taking down Houston Heat. But so we talked about this. X Factor not looking, they won games in the prelims, but they won a lot of close games. Houston Heat was dominating people in the prelims, and now we come into the semifinals with Heat versus X Factor, and it's X Factor that prevails, even though they didn't look as good in the prelims as Houston Heat did. That's Sunday paintball, man. You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes the teams that look the best in the prelims are not the teams that end up winning those games, because it's the guys that had to fight hard. And Rich, you were breaking it down accurately, I thought, yesterday afternoon when you said, yeah, that's because you have to get 15, 20 different iterations of your game plans. Everyone's, getting criticized and comments about their play, and so everyone's tightened it up. Whereas if you blaze through the prelims with no adversity, everything seems to be working. You didn't get all those fresh looks at how each guy's playing, each play is working.
6 seconds on the job.
It's weird how much we see that, and it's definitely become something that year after year after year seems to work out that way.
Also is one of those teams where they change things up and they try different things. If they're up by 1 or 2 points, they're not doing this. Like the Russians, if they're up 2 or 3 points, they're going to do the exact same play and just grind that point out. X Factor will switch Archie from tape to tape. They'll push Colt. They'll have him go faster. They got a lot of different looks. And when you're doing all those different looks, you make a mistake here and there because you're trying to figure it out. But again, they're here every single Sunday because that's what they do, man.
Yeah, that is what X Factor definitely does is make Sunday. What they would like to do more is win more tournaments. Yeah, and they've won their very good fair share of tournaments over the years, but seeing as how you make Sunday that often, you'd like to win maybe a little bit more. I mean, it's so hard to do, so I'm never going to say that they should be winning more tournaments, but they feel they should be winning more tournaments.
Let's see what Houston Heat's going to bring here. They're going to go running again. Here comes the move all the way down the Dorito side. Ryan Moorhead, he makes it in the Dorito 3. Nico Hyde looked like he got picked up, but he's still alive and blazing. Now he gets picked up on the inside by Archie. Nick Sloviak standing up tall in that tower, puts one in on Sergey. 20 seconds on the clock. Fedorov walks off. Devin Stewart in the back line. Looks like he's by himself now as Ryan Moorhead gets shot.
1-on-3.
Here comes run down the Dorito side from X Factor. Looks like they want to put another point on the board and really stick it to Houston Heat here. Make it 8-4.
Closer game.
Yes, I think that was Jesse Stevens. Really excited to
2 minutes.
But he's not twerking, so he's not that excited.
Well, I mean, there's still time. There's still time.
We can hope.
He's still on the field.
Tell you what, the reason X Factor exists is because that man right there wearing the Planet Eclipse hoodie, Alex Martinez, one of the biggest paintball patrons around, should be really proud of his boys right now.
Let's go. Great job. That's for me. Thank you, boys. Thank you.
Yes, Alex Martinez and his, you know, what is it, 8 children that he has on X Factor?
8 extended children.
Yeah, all of his adopted children.
Good job, guys. Team win there, baby. Everyone, here's on me. Hey, let's go. No one talk. No one talk. Did you hear me telling you?
So yeah, and right now we are going to have Dynasty taking on Elevation and Russians and Revo. So Todd, talk to me about what you've been seeing out of Elevation this morning and what you think you're going to see out of San Diego Dynasty in that matchup.
Well, these are two teams that have already played each other, and you know, the games. Elevation has kind of squeaked out their past couple wins here by the skin of their teeth, but that usually comes because you're fighting hard and not giving up, and you know, fighting down to the last man. And Dynasty was able to beat them earlier in this event. They were in the same bracket. You know, it's really going to come down to you know, one of the most experienced teams in the league versus a brand new rookie team getting their first shot here on Sunday to take down one of the giants. So it could be interesting. We could see San Diego Dynasty put it back on Elevation again, or Elevation, maybe they've learned from that first match. But let's check in with Lauren Kelly down on the sidelines.
Hey guys, I'm here with the winner, Colt Roberts, just fixing his face to look pretty for the camera for his mama, right?
Yep.
Congratulations on that huge win against Houston Heat. It was the battle of the Texas teams, which we always like to see, and you guys prevailed.
Yep.
And it was also a little bit of a grudge match, because last time you were in this situation, you guys mercy ruled them 7-0 in 2017, so they were hungry for that win.
Sure.
But talk to me a little bit about the weekend overall. I talked to you before even your first prelim match, and you were a little apprehensive because of how practices had gone. But as the matches have gone on, do you feel like you guys have figured out this layout a little bit more and gotten more comfortable with how the team is playing and where everyone needs to be?
Absolutely. You know, we've gotten better pretty much every match. I think it shows with the scores and the quality of match we're playing. So yeah, we came in a little bit behind the curve, I think, as far as learning the field, but we've gotten a lot of great looks from our practices and from our matches, and I think we figured it out.
A lot of teams are telling me that they're avoiding those center bunkers. They're sending people out wide and they're not really utilizing them at all. Are you guys experiencing the same kind of thing? You're staying more at the Dorito 4 or on the snake side rather than utilizing some of those new center bunkers we have?
I think that it's just one of those deals that's easy to shoot on break, so you got to be crafty about getting in there, but I definitely think it's a strong center, and so we try and sprinkle it in there here and there. We don't avoid it, but we're careful going up there for sure.
I've heard a lot of players talking about Dorito 4. Would you say that is the most productive bunker on the Dorito side?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And once you get up, actually, once you get out of the Dorito 2, you pretty much have free will to go wherever you want on the Dorito side. So it's just getting through that first zone, and as soon as you do that, you kind of have free will to do what you want.
And I haven't been able to talk to you guys too much about your off-season changes. You picked up Nick Sloviak. Jesse Stevens is back on the team. He was on the team a while ago, left, and now he's back. How are those additions helping round out your roster?
Oh, they're great. You know, we lost Clinton Johnson, which was a huge loss. He was a real nice utility guy that could play anywhere on the field. We've kind of thrown Jesse into that role. And then Nick's obviously a wonderful communicator and knows how to play those back spots. So I think they're both great additions to the team. Their morale boost and just their attitudes overall are great, and they're awesome players. So we're very happy.
All right. Well, congratulations to Impact and X Factor. Moving on. Stay tuned for more.